All right, so Monday Again podcast. Today's Wednesday midweek. I feel a little bit out of it because Memorial Day was Monday and I didn't work. Slow day for me. I didn't do anything. But yeah, we're at Golden Vapor 3. Another episode. This time it looks like we're doing episode 13, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so Vlad behind the controls. He's the DJ in this time. The Stilo from Ridiculousness, but our version. So, and then we have our good friend here, guest for this particular episode, Belem, with an M. We were just talking about that. I actually don't know if I've ever met you before.
No.
I don't know. I don't even think I've known about you before, but I've seen your car sometimes, which is cool. But today's topic, actually, before we hit to today's topic, we were going to enjoy some Golden Vapor drinks. Belem was actually able to open up hers and give it a taste test before the cameras were rolling. But it seems like she might have enjoyed it. I'm not sure. I can't open mine yet because I dropped it before we were recording, and now it's like a bomb if I were to open it. So I'm gonna wait a little bit, and then I'll eventually open. You hear the crack of it.
You can't say that nowadays.
This guy, you'll hear the crack of it going off in the middle of like a discussion or something or a question. So,
well, you know what's funny is you have the bottle right in your face the whole time.
Imagine if I was just like this. Anyway, no, I'm going to put it down, let it cool off a little bit, not get a little too crazy. So today's topic is going to be what it's like to be a lady-driven person for their vehicle in the car community. Being a female, I believe, comes with a lot of different, things in life, obviously, than men. Probably a perspective that not a lot of people get to even know about, because obviously, they're not in that position. But we just want to get a little bit of insight from your experience, from what it is that you've got going on right now, from what it is that you plan to do, or any of your experiences. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what it is that you got going on right now, just to introduce yourself.
My name is Belem, and I drive a 2018 Lexus IS 300 F Sport. I've been in the car scene since 2017, actually. Didn't have a car back then. I will have friends in the car scene. I'm from El Paso. Been here mostly all my 24 years.
Born and raised.
Yep.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
So so you said you've been around the car stuff since 2017. What triggered you to say damn, I actually want to be part into this a little bit further, because now that you have a vehicle, it injects you a little bit deeper into what it is, the car community. So what did you think would trigger you to think about that?
Well, I always grew up around cars. I always wanted to have my own car and modify it. Obviously, the car scene is a little bit out of control lately.
Yeah.
It's way different compared to how it used to be back in the day. Mostly all the people that I've known since 2017 are no longer in the car scene. They still have their modified cars, but they stepped away from it.
Right.
So, and now that I have my own car, I normally used to do car meets. Now I just stick to shows.
Right. Why specifically? Because I know that everybody gets their own perception of that, and it's something that kind of evolves to that.
Yeah. So, car meets used to be fun, man. They used to be just chill. Just everybody will park and not do burnouts or any sideshow activity. We used to have New Worlds every Wednesday.
Right.
Now it's every other day.
Yeah, it feels like it, right?
Yeah. So, and just people just don't know how to respect properties, man.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess nowadays kids just feel like they have so much.
Yeah, you got to blame it on the kids. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No, but it's true. It's true.
I mean, think about it. Mostly everybody who does actually this kind of things are brand new kids are barely starting to come out to the car scene, and it wasn't like that before. That's why a lot of people don't even go to these type of things, because everybody's trying to just chill, and then all of a sudden someone's car gets hit, and then there goes all your hard work.
Right.
And my car is my baby. I take care of it if it's my kid, and I will be so mad if somebody just comes and hits what I work for.
Yeah.
And
usually, and sometimes it tends to be some piece of shit, whatever car.
Yeah,
no
and
insurance.
then no insurance. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the stolen cars, and I blame the internet for that. I feel like around that time, 2017 or so, it was when the internet was. I don't want to say in its infancy, obviously not, but the whole collecting culture started to evolving into what it is now. But I think at a point of 3-4 years ago is when the virality of doing stupid shit really took off, and everything, not just cars. And I think cars, I don't want to say suffered the most, but definitely took a pretty big hit when it comes to like the kids being fools and stuff. So yeah, I could agree. Wednesday nights at New World were actually pretty chill. Eventually got to the point where the owner put like speed bumps, and they still do like this do the other shit in the back, like in the other part of it. Like it gets so dumb.
And even that, I don't even know how people can do dumb shit with speed bumps.
Yeah, no,
like
they don't care.
Like
yeah, they don't care. Like I even like hesitate going over it, let alone do something stupid.
Yeah,
near
like
one.
We had people parking across the street and everything because that's how packed it used to be back in the day. Like,
right, and it was all in like you said, packed but chill.
Yeah,
you know. And then if there was one fool, like it wouldn't last very long.
Yeah,
yeah. And now it's the opposite. There's everybody acting a fool, and 1 or 2 people that are chill.
Yeah,
that doesn't last.
Yeah, of course. And that's why like most properties out here don't even allow car meets anymore, like the fountains, like the malls, stuff like that, because of this type of things.
Right,
you know,
right.
Like it just ruins it for all everyone.
Yeah, and that's kind of how we've evolved to try to keep things private, not necessarily private, but where private owners are aware of what's going on and stuff, because that immediately almost weeds out the bad apples. The only bad thing is like sometimes you lose the bigger picture, I guess. Like you fail to reach more audiences and stuff. But I feel like there's got to be some kind of balance. I wish there was some kind of balance. I don't know if there is, but hopefully we can figure that out. But yeah, it was a pretty good insight as far as like how you feel it's evolved from the point where you started. So
wait, I have a question. What would you guys say to the dumbass that posted on his story defending like the burnouts and all that shit, saying that he's just giving the people what they want?
Oh yeah, there was somebody with I want to say a platform, but somebody was like, somebody was actually posting everything, and then they started like catching fire from it, from like multiple people that mattered, like their voices mattered, and they were like, this person was like running with it, and he was like, I'm just giving people what they want.
He doubled down.
I mean, you have people that like that type of stuff, and that's okay, you know, like you're gonna like what you're gonna like regardless.
Yeah.
But there's people who don't like it, and not only that, but it looks dumb.
Yeah.
It looks dumb. I'm sorry, but it looks dumb.
I feel like it holds just no longevity.
Yeah,
right?
Like it's just more. I guess it's based down on reputation, because if people know that you're that type of person, like people are not gonna want you in their events. People are not gonna want you to invite you anywhere. You know, like it's just that's all you do. That's fine. Go do it somewhere else. Do it in your house. Do it in your garage. Do it in your street. Whatever it is, you know. But it just looks bad on you.
You know what the worst part of that is that the people that do go to that kind of dumb shit sometimes don't really care about the shows. Yeah. So there's really like a no-lose like situation for them, other than the fact that they're, you know, wrecking their cars, right? But at that point, it doesn't seem like they care anyway.
Yeah.
So it's a really hard thing to handle.
Yeah, of course.
Touching base on about your background a little bit. So it was interesting to bring you here because you have some background in working in the industry. So it's not just like, oh, it's just a girl with a pretty car. No. That's it. No, there's more to it. There's layers to it. Like Shred said, there's layers. You know, so you have a background.
I hate you so much for that.
Shut up. You have a background in cars, specifically in education. So you have history with Southwest University. So tell us about that. How is it? What made you decide that, I want to get into that? And then how did that go for you?
So honestly, coming out of high school, I was just like, I don't want to go to a long, what's it called? Like a long career. I just want something short, quick, and fast. That's going to get me out there. So literally like a month after I graduated high school, I went straight to Southwest University. I enrolled, went into the automotive industry because I always liked cars.
Right.
So I was like fast and easy, you know. It only took me like probably like a year.
Oh, dope.
A year and a half to like get my associate's degree on automotive. And it was a really good experience, actually. Like I learned a lot of things that nowadays technology, engineering is always advancing. Like they're always changing something. So I learned because I'm really independent of myself, so I don't have to depend on anybody to help me fix a tire, change anything, you know. And after that, I graduated and I started working on car dealerships.
That's dope. And like, what would you say to somebody who's like interested in taking possibly the same path? Because I have a friend of mine that went that direction with Honda and had like a whole education with like Honda. Now she works with Honda. You have anything that you would like to say for somebody who might be like on the fences about it? You know, specifically a woman, because they don't typically feel like, oh, that might be not something that I want to do, but I do like it. I don't know.
It is a really man-dominant world.
Right.
Definitely. It will make you feel very, like, how would you say it? Like, very unconscious about yourself. Like you won't be able to make it. But you always have to take the risk. Like, no matter what it is, no matter what they tell you, like, women and men can do the same thing. No matter what.
Right.
Like, no matter what category it is, no matter what you're studying, it's always possible to be able to do it. I will say go for it. It's a really good experience. Even if it's not a career you really want to, like, persuade, it will teach you a lot of how to learn a lot of things, because I've gotten women that comes to me and they tell me, oh, well, they told me this at the dealership, or they told me that at AutoZone or O'Reilly's, you know, and I'm just looking at them like,
you're getting scammed.
Yeah, like that shouldn't be it, you
Yeah.
know. So always know your knowledge. Like, be open to know about the industry
Right.
as much as you can, as long as you're okay with it, and if that's something you want to pursue, I would say go for it.
Yeah. I
The
agree.
more knowledge you have, the better, honestly.
Yeah, and honestly, like, I wouldn't even consider myself like a person who knows a lot about cars. Honestly, I just kind of like everything about it and like around it. And I, for one, could say like you probably could do more things that I could in a car, like straight up. Period.
It's teachable, man. It's
Yeah,
really
no,
teachable.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just giving you that recognition. Come
Yeah.
on, dude. I'm transparent as is. Like, somebody comes to me about my car, I'm like, no, there's some things I didn't do, some things I did do, you know, but like
Yeah.
because I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
Because there's a lot of
And-
people who take pride on that.
And even if I have the background and everything, I still have people that help me with the cars, you
Right.
know, like help me do this, or, you know, because I don't like anything that has to do with electronics or anything like in that field,
Right.
because I just get paranoid that I'm going to get shocked
Yeah.
or something. I don't fucking
Yeah.
know.
To this day, I can't even work on a battery.
Yeah,
like-
I'm just like, I'm not trying to get a shock or
Yeah.
anything like that. But I do have friends and a lot of people that I do ask for help. And they're willing to help regardless of my background, regardless of the knowledge. You know, you always have those people that will teach you something that you probably didn't even learn at school or anything, you know?
Right. Yeah. It's just also part of like who you surround yourself with. Because there's people who know a lot, and then all of a sudden they just gatekeep that knowledge too. You know, so there's a little bit of everything.
See, I don't know why people do that. Like, why are you gonna keep certain information? Like, what's so special about that? You know,
I'm in both sides of the picture of that. I can agree, but there's also sometimes where I do think to myself like, no, I'm gonna keep that to myself for of other reasons, you know.
Yeah.
But I can see where people come from with that. How do you feel about like the longevity in that particular way of living for yourself, like with working on cars? Like, do you feel like you could do this till you retire? Do you think you could do this? Maybe I want to save up to maybe open up my own thing or start my own career somewhere else. How do you see your longevity with that?
Honestly, I don't see myself going far just because I have not worked on vehicles for a while now. But I've been in the car dealerships, doing other things, obviously open-minded, learning different things. But it's a really good career path to chase. Like, it will take you in the long run, you know. It kind of sucks when they're bringing out the electric vehicles and all that stuff, because it kind of seems like it's taking over.
Right.
But in the long run, the cars will always be there, no matter what. So.
And I forgot like how much of an EV actually is like, I don't know,
man.
EV. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You just change the batteries out.
I got in a
change the-
Tesla.
she's a
I got
battery.
in a Tesla and I didn't even know how to put that shit on drive. I was like, what
Interesting.
the hell?
yeah, because like as far as like mechanical goes, obviously there's mechanical parts that can make it run and stuff. But like,
Yeah.
how much of that? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, and I never thought of that. Like, you as somebody who studied before all the EVs were going crazy, like that probably changes your knowledge of them, obviously.
Yeah, and I personally wouldn't own one, just because like if it breaks down, I don't even know what the hell to do with it. Like, it's just stuck there.
Yeah, the
you
knowledge
know?
on them is pretty low too.
Yeah. So you can't even move it. You can't roll it. Nothing. Like, it's just once it's stuck, it's stuck.
Right, because like Yeah, it doesn't work the same.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard the stories about like the people who they're like out driving and they go to like the store or something and then the car doesn't like open because it's like updating and shit?
Yeah.
Like there's a lady, she had her kids in the car, and then the car was like updating and she couldn't get them out and the doors closed and everything.
Did they die?
Nah, they didn't pass away. They just they had to bust the windows open.
That's
crazy.
nuts. Or the ones from like the Teslas where they're like testing that the fingers doesn't chop you off, and then they test it and then it actually gets
with the truck.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
Actually, I have a story. One of my clients in Dallas, he has like a lot of different like Teslas, and he lent us his Plaid one time, and he had told us, he's like, "You want me to teach you how to drive it?" And I was like, "What the fuck do I need to learn that for?" And then he just like told me, as soon as you let go of the gas pedal, like it brakes for you. Like it uses like AI camera shit.
Yeah.
So I remember I was punching it like, I don't know, I think I was going like almost like 80 something, 90 almost, and then this car like cuts us off really bad. And then I remember like I just let go of the gas pedal and then, or like, you know, the acceleration.
Yeah. No gas.
And it like it did a stupid fast brake, and then it like since the car was behind us, so like what it did is like it kind of like moved on its own. Like just a little bit. It didn't do the whole thing for us, but but that shit was crazy.
Nah,
but I still
crazy.
wouldn't get a Tesla.
That's crazy because if you can't control the car, like
That's some of my robot shit.
I freaking panic. Like if it's something I can't control, I freaking panic. I'm like, what the hell, like. You know?
No, that is crazy. I mean, at the same time, it's like, oh, it saved us from any potential catastrophe, or but that is kind of freaky if you think about it. It's like, even like my brother has a Ford ST, right, and it has like, I mean, most new cars have this feature. For me, it was kind of like mind-boggling though. But like, you put it in cruise control, and then as long as you stay in the lines, it follows the lines, and as long as you give it some pressure in the steering wheel, it stays there. For me, that was such a new thing. Obviously a lot of cars have that. But it's funny because like the car itself tells you like don't move your hands off the wheel, and all it needs is a little pressure. Now imagine if you just give it some kind of weight on it and you just fall asleep. Like you could technically you could. That's kind of wild.
The steering wheel just has to feel like some tension for it to just but I hate my car has the lane departure thing. I turn that shit off.
Oh, because it like makes you feel like it's
because I'm trying to move lanes and like it doesn't let you move lanes unless you lose. Like I mean, you gotta use the blinker all the time, but like I don't know. There's times where El Paso people don't know how to fucking drive.
We already know that,
Like, and sometimes you just have to move right away, and that lane departure will kick you back into the lane. So,
that sucks.
and it's crazy.
That's
I don't like it. I have mine turned off. So.
Yeah. I would too. Going back a little bit with your whole experience with working with dealerships, is there any particular like story or anything that you would say like, oh, this is why I like doing this? You remember any particular moment or story of time? You don't have to, but in case you do you have anything?
Breaking shit.
Breaking shit, really?
Yeah, it happens. Or fixing. There was one time we were fixing a radio and the radio was installed properly, everything was hold on to, like bolt onto it. And then in my hand, I have all these extra bolts.
Oh, why you're like...
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell? Like, that shit ain't moving, but where did these come from, Yeah. So, it's fun moments. It's really cool experiences, You break shit, you learn from it, and you do it all over again.
Yeah, that's cool. I could see how that's definitely something that sticks with you. Just always seeing like different like scenarios every time, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Jumping over to a different part into more, I won't say different, but more deeper into what it is being involved in the community. What's for you the hardest thing about being a woman in the car industry? Because I know you already mentioned like you might be perceived as inferior, I believe is kind of what you were trying to like portray. But for you, it's yourself, like an experience that you think could be considered as like, oh, this is difficult for me to a certain extent, or if any. It doesn't necessarily have to be like that you do. I'm just asking whether you have had any experiences like that where you felt that you maybe have a hard time being a woman in the car industry or in the car scene.
I do, just because like the car industry is more man dominant,
right?
If you really think about it, it obviously men always think they're superior to everything when it comes to vehicles. And as females, like, we get downgraded so much because they're like, well, you don't really know what you got going on, you know?
Right.
But I haven't really experienced anything bad. I know what I got, you know, and I know what I know. And if I'm able to teach others, then that's good for me, you know? Like, I don't really see myself like in a competition with any man out here. You know, everybody has their own builds. Everybody builds their cars how they want to. And I build my own like how I want to, you know?
And, you know, I think a big part of it is who you involve yourself with, too. Because there's a lot of, like, drama sometimes that happens. But sometimes I hate when people say, like, oh, the car scene is just drama. And I'm like, every scene is drama.
Yeah. That is true.
It's the same. Like
even if it's not in the car scene, even in the, like, just regular basis, like, you're always going to have that drama, no matter what.
And I feel like that's just kind of some clarification that people should probably, like, see. Like, for example, I used to be involved a little bit in the music scene. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
It was just different keywords that would pop up. It was the same stuff, just different things. Like, instead of a car, it was a guitar. If it wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was the same things. Like, it was the same things.
Actually, I'll have you know that everyone in the bike scene is a saint. They've never done anything fucking wrong.
Yeah.
According to them.
They never did it. That's funny. Yeah, no calling shots at anybody in the bike community like that, but there tends to be a big rivalry sometimes for some reason with the bikes and the cars.
We love the bikes. It's just y'all get too loud sometimes. Like,
make your own meets.
yeah. Y'all get too loud. Like, we like the bikes and everything, but keep it to a minimum. Like, you know, just
I wasn't throwing shots.
Tone it down a little bit.
I was just saying for just like to pick anyone, and literally the bikes and just came up first. Because if I said anything in the car, like anything in the car scene, everyone's gonna be like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
Yeah,
and we're gonna show up like
I mean,
to the next shit, like all talking shit and whatever.
Yeah. I don't think it
like,
matters.
I have friends that have bikes and everything, and they're pretty super cool. You know, like, they're chill. But then you also have those that just want to
That's everywhere. Yeah.
rev it. I'm just like, okay, you know, do your thing, but it's not something you want to hear, you know.
Right.
Like,
The rev bombing.
Oh, I have a good question actually, and it does pertain to being a female.
For her.
Do you think it's different to be a female in the car scene versus a female in the bike scene?
no, I really don't think so. I think we both, whether you have a bike or a car, I think we all just get downgraded.
Interesting.
No matter what, you know. And not only by men, we actually get downgraded a lot by females also.
Yeah, there's not a lot of girls anywhere actually, like at all, right?
Like, yeah.
Like just in general.
It's really hard, you know, like, not to talk shit about anybody, you know, but I've had pretty good friends and I got bad friends, you know, in the car scene. And it is what it is, you know. Like, I respect what you got going on and you can't respect mine, that's fine. But no drama there, you know.
Right.
Like, if you have an issue with me, then that's a personal problem for you. But other than that, I think we either it's a bike or a car or bicycle, whatever you want to have, whatever you want to own. We both get hit on downgraded,
Right.
you know.
And then as far as keeping you involved, obviously your love for the game, specifically vehicles. Other than that, what keeps you involved in the car community? Like, obviously, there's those moments, but there's like those bad moments. There's always some kind of moment that makes you like, sometimes you're in question and like, do I belong in this? Like, what keeps you involved?
My team.
Nice.
My Dazig
Shout
team.
them out. Shout them out.
Team Dazig, shout out to them. We're a big family, man. I was actually about to step out from the car scene, the car community, and just, you know, had my car built and everything, but I was just going to do my own thing and just keep it solo until I've actually met them. I've known them for years, but I actually joined Team Dazig, and they taught me how to be involved with everybody and actually be a family, you know, like, because that's where a car community is, a family. Regardless if we like each other, we might have our bumps here and then, our fights, you know, but at the end of the day, we all have the same dream and the same goal, you know, like we all have, and we all chasing for it.
Yeah, and like, I don't have any like insight experience or anything like that, but a lot of times you can't see like the push for each other to help each other get better.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a big part of like what matters. And to a certain extent, they kind of try to, and I say they by you guys, they try to spread that to everybody else. You know, they kind of create some level to a lot of stuff because some people can say like, oh well, they appear everywhere, or they're pulling up to everything or anything like that. But at the same time, like me as a planner, I could be like, sure, they might be at a lot of places, but then I think like, where's Dazig when they don't show up? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like from the outside looking in, maybe you probably haven't heard it, but like most of the general consensus is like, yeah, they're pretty good at making sure everybody's trying to grow together.
Yeah.
Of course, it doesn't go without saying that people have bad things to say. You know, everybody always has something bad to say, and there's
Yeah,
always
of
like
course.
ideas of anything. But that's just kind of one part of insight that I wanted to add as far as does it goes. So yeah, because I don't think I've ever told anybody that. But yeah, like I stand with Risto pretty heavily. You know, he's always been super supportive of what we've done.
Yeah.
I want to say I don't know how soon he's been like supporting us. I want to ask him maybe if he leaves a comment or sees this.
Yeah.
But he's always like, as far as I'm aware, every time like something's gonna happen, I know Risto and Dazig are like first to sign up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
which
We
is super
we
dope.
like to support a lot of local,
Right.
but yeah, we all just have the same dream, and it's just a family. Like that's how it should be, you know. Regardless of the ups and downs, and not like we bump heads sometimes here and then, you know. But at the end of the day, we just overcome it, and that's
all that
the
matters.
whole thing that matters,
Right.
you know.
And then how many of you guys went to San Antonio? Because that just happened. What, like 2 days
We
ago?
had 17 members.
Out there? Dang, it was
Here in
like-
El Paso was probably like, maybe like, shit, I can't even fucking remember. Probably
more
like
or less?
13 members
I see.
probably. And then we do have the Team Dazig in San Antonio, the San Antonio chapter that joined
Right.
us over there as well. So
That's
that
cool.
that made us be like around 17, 18 cars.
Right.
Yeah.
And so you drove your car over there?
I did drive my car over there.
How was that for you?
It wasn't too bad actually.
It's not.
No.
San Antonio drive isn't bad.
No. I was scared of shit though. Like I was just scared of getting hit or something,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, like it's just
Those bugs
but-
though, those bugs they're like as soon as you're gonna like get into like right before downtown. I don't know. Did you get any of like big nasty bugs?
No, but they have big ass fucking mosquitoes that
Oh,
I got bit all over my legs. But other than that, I mean, the drive there was really smooth, even though for my car that slammed to the ground, you know, I decided to drive it, you know, that's the whole part of it. But
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
fun. I actually was out there in San Antonio not too long ago, and I realized like how much of an easier drive it is in comparison to like Dallas or because I go to Dallas a lot, and then San
Yeah.
Antonio. That's why I wanted to ask like how the drive was, 'cause especially on the car. Yeah, it's good. Like what about the way back? Same thing.
Yeah, actually, it's a lot faster on the way back. But
Yeah.
the drive is
Because
faster.
you're also like downhill, right?
Yeah.
It's weird. Like you can feel it when you're going up there. Even your gas tank starts to empty sooner. Like,
Yeah.
it's pretty interesting.
Wait,
eh,
did you guys drive at night or during the day?
During the day.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
that night drive is fucking sketchy.
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Especially when you
I
have to
can't
put
do
gas.
night. I'm blind as hell. Like
Same.
I can't do it.
There's some sketchy ass gas stations.
There is.
Yeah, just-
The little small towns and shit.
Yeah.
It's literally like the hills have eyes.
And isn't it? Yeah, Ozona. You actually drive by Ozona on the way.
That place is sketchy.
Yeah, the cool thing about it is the reason why I bring it up is because that's where one of our viral videos took off because of like the car museum that was there.
Okay.
And I feel like anybody who goes that is into cars remotely needs to swing by either on their way there or on the way back. Because there's like I don't know, a lot of people say that the 4GT isn't real, but there's no reason why it wouldn't be. Because the guy that owned it used to be like a multimillionaire cattle owner and like he was a car team owner and stuff. So I don't know.
I mean, he had enough money to not give a fuck about it.
Exactly, exactly. And like he wasn't. First off, he wasn't even an automotive enthusiast. He just wanted to expand his incomes and bought a team, and like he owned multiple teams. And then he, I guess, like his team and all stuff, like just ended, retired or whatever. And then he put his cars like in there and other stuff somewhere else. But I think he didn't care enough to like, you know, care about it, I guess, and then put his car there. So if anybody goes, y'all need to swing by. That's where the viral video was taken. Just as a suggestion, anytime you go, swing by again.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's fire, dude. And nobody does. Like the only reason you would want to stop there is if you know, or if you're about to run out of gas. And that's how we found out. Like
Really?
we was about to run out of gas, and like where do we stop? We stopped there, pulled in there. There's like, oh, auto museum, and like even seeing it from afar, you have no idea what's in there. You walk up to it. You're like, oh shit, a 4GT. Oh shit, like a NASCAR. And oh shit, like a drag truck. Like
Shit, that's
insane.
Underdogs went to it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because on their way back they went to it.
Yeah, I feel like there was a little bit more awareness, and there was people in the comments saying like, dude, where is this? Where is this? I'll pay you to let me know where this is at. Like,
Yeah.
no, like that's crazy. But I kept that from people. Speaking of like,
Gatekeeper.
shut up. Speaking of any kind of like motorsports, you know, that now that we're on the topic, is there anything you were interested in? Anything you watch? Anything you like? You can be honest. You can be like, nope.
Formula One.
Interesting. Yeah, you see, I was never able to I can't sit through it. Either, you know, I know Golden is a pretty big fan, making trips.
Yeah, I always wanted to go to either a NASCAR or Formula One, just to experience it, man. You know, like it's different when you see it from the TV and then actually being there.
Yeah,
You know?
well, I assume so.
Like it's just, I always wanted to go to one. I always see it through TV, obviously, but that's my dream to go to either a NASCAR race or a Formula One race.
You ever step foot in maybe like being at a speedway by any chance? Because the reason why I say it is because Texas Motor Speedway, like there was LS Fest that I've been to multiple times. Like it's just, dude, when you see things in the TV and like when you're there, like I'm not talking about like the cars themselves, but the track is so like steep and just hot. Like I can imagine when the cars are there. I don't know.
I actually went on the track on the Texas Motor Speedway.
Oh, nice. Like you drove? Did you drive on there?
No, I was a passenger.
Oh, interesting.
They do this big car show that's called Wham out there.
Interesting.
Oh, yeah.
The All Part one.
Yeah.
And I got to be on the track.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's scary, man, because it's like sideways.
Yeah,
Like you're going sideways.
You're
and it's-
literally leaning onto it the entire time.
So I mean, it's a good experience.
That's dope.
But definitely.
I stepped foot on one, but you actually ended up like riding on a. That's cool. That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Any particular event that you would be interested in going to? Like not necessarily motorsport, but like just like a show in general. Because you know we have the Spring Fest here, we have the one you went to San Antonio, but those are low class shows. Have you ever been into another one, like something else, like with your car or car related?
No.
Interesting.
No.
So is that the first time you travel out of town for your?
With my car, yes.
Oh yeah, that's a cool
With my
experience.
car, yes.
It's always a cool experience.
Yeah, I was pretty excited for being my first time taking the car out there.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of competition though.
Oh yeah, San Antonio is crazy.
Yeah,
competition.
their car scene is crazy.
Yeah. And I think we've already touched base this on our first episode that like people underestimate the quality of El Paso. Like if you look subjectively speaking, without putting any faces to any cars, there's really good cars in El Paso.
Yeah,
But San Antonio's really got their game up there as well.
they do.
Like if they were to go toe to toe,
They do.
who do you think?
Honestly, the San Antonio
Really?
people got it.
Yeah,
they got it. They got it.
And-
Anywhere outside of El Paso, they got it. Honestly, don't get me wrong. Here in El Paso, we got good builds. You know, like everybody, we got some nice cars. You know, but anything outside of El Paso, it is competition. Competition is tough out there.
You know what I like about El Paso is that there's like a pretty well-known number of like what you would call heavy hitters, I guess, which is cool because like there's a numbered few that you're like, oh yeah, like sometimes I've even come across with I'm just like, oh, I didn't even know the car was from El Paso and it has like millions of views.
Yeah.
You know, that's super
Yeah.
interesting. But the thing about San Antonio, the thing about San Antonio is that you get a lot of people from like Houston to come up.
Yeah,
And
and
so
Dallas.
that's
and
cheating.
Austin.
That's cheating.
Yeah,
That's kinda cheating.
Well, I mean, they're all close together. Think about it. Like
Yeah.
here, you have to travel like an hour just to go to cruises.
Right.
You know, so it's kind of people don't want to make the drive. You know,
Yeah.
but out there it's a whole different game changer.
Yeah. No, and it kind of like when we travel, it just opens your eyes to like more. I don't want to say possibilities, but more things obviously to see and
Yeah,
you
I
appreciate
definitely
it.
got some good ideas.
Now.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm like I want to do that and that and
Yeah.
that. You know, it's a learning experience. You know, like. Yeah, it's a tough competition, but I mean, at the end of the day, you just learn from it, you
Yeah.
know, and it just makes you want to do more things.
I would recommend for you to travel to any Colorado show. Anything specific, not specific, but anything either peaked or down to earth puts together because the drive out there is really nice. Obviously,
Really?
when it's not snowing.
Yeah, of course. I can't take my car in the snow.
But it's a beautiful drive. I feel like you don't really feel it too much because you're always like engaged with like your surroundings. Different
Yeah.
from like here, from between now and Midland or like a little bit after Midland, you're cooked. You're just nothing, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I would recommend you if you're interested in like maybe like looking more into like traveling for car shows. Denver, dude. Denver is the go-to for like car shows and stuff. And not only that, like up north, you get a lot of people who are. I don't want to say San Antonio is a little less engaging, but or I don't want to say they're rude, but they're a little less engaging. I feel like a lot of people keep to themselves a little bit, or like when shows happen. I don't know if you noticed this, but perhaps there was a lot more car owners than there were spectators.
Yes.
And that's not just a low class thing. That's a San Antonio thing. Houston thing.
Yeah.
And every time that I've gone, or the multiple times that I've gone, I'm like, there's a lot of people here, but from my understanding, like this doesn't seem like a lot of spectators.
Yeah,
you know
it's more vehicle owners.
Like car owners.
Yeah, I think we were pretty hyped up over there. We were like the most people that were making
noise
and everything. Everybody was just like,
yeah, and that's an El Paso thing though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like the party animals are from here. That's the one thing. And sometimes I change the subject a little bit, but sometimes like when an artist comes out here, you know how like they're always like, El Paso really knows how to party, and like they did say the same shit at every city, but sometimes I feel like they mean it. You know, because I feel like El Paso is a pretty bad like partying city, but yeah, I think that's true. Like I think as far as like the crowd goes, San Antonio's more like reserved. I feel like they're not too like open to just talk to anybody. Of course, you have a handful few that like are the opposite, but that was my perception. I feel like I just kind of wanted to see if maybe you felt the same way. I'm not trying to convince you that's the case.
No. Like I did see it. You know, like we were there. Like I said, we were like the ones making noise. Yeah. You know, we were like all hyped up, and everybody was like in like by their cars, just sitting. You're just looking at us like, who are these people? Yeah. You know, like. Yeah. But I mean, it's common. You know, you get that a lot. You know, but that's just who they are. You know, like. They'll change. They will not change. You know.
We'll see. Yeah,
that's what it is.
Yeah, but I guess it's just like their own communities, and you know, I guess you guys coming and you adjust a little bit. I guess but you still end up having a good time anyway.
Yeah.
Which also kind of just brings it back a little bit to the other question, because I kind of changed a little bit. It was, do you see yourself going to any other events other than that? Like since you already got that experience to go out of town, like is there any that you want to go to or that you've seen?
That I've seen, no, but I do want to do an out of town show again. I definitely do want to do it again. Get more ideas, you know, get to meet people. Yeah. You know, just for fun of it.
Because Ruidoso's coming up and Dazig, I don't know. Did they? I don't. They've went. I think like first few times.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. I would also recommend that as like if you guys want to go all together and enjoy time together. I feel like that's the perfect event. Yeah. Because it's not so much about the cars as it is about the environment. I feel like that's the peak engagement when it comes to like here locals. Thankfully, I mean it's a low class show. I feel like we talk about low class a lot, but realistically, they're like the bigger hitter here, and that's who puts things together. But I feel like that's probably something I would also recommend. Because we look forward to it a lot. We're always talking about it. Yo, what about Ruidoso and so and so stuff? So come on, Dazig. You guys know. You guys can go out there and do some pretty good, team building and stuff.
There's also this year. There's gonna be the Slammed In of Houston, which I think a lot of El Paso people are thinking about going to.
Right.
Because I think from what I understood, they hadn't done Slammed In of Houston in a while, or they skipped last year.
I think they went to San Antonio last
year. Something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. They said something about Texas that they just.
Yeah, I think they're doing it like in what June, July, no? Like July. Right?
I don't know.
I think so.
I don't remember the dates, but yeah, that's the one I'm kind of like looking forward to as well.
Yeah.
Just because I fuck with Houston a lot.
and Slammed enough.
H-Town.
Yeah.
Shout out.
Trying to get some Trill burgers.
Moving over up until like a grander scale of things for women in the car scene. What do you see for women in the car scene in the near future that you could maybe or hope to see for women in the car scene in the future that you might see yourself as like saying, well, maybe I wish I had this, or maybe I wish there was this, or maybe even, just literally anything that you would see for you or the friends that you have, females, in the community?
I'm not the big person about comparing myself to others. Mm-hmm. So I've learned that lesson a lot because once you start comparing yourself to other females or, you get to learn from them, but at the same time, you just want to keep your own.
Right.
Like your own ideas, your own strategies, your own build, your, whatever you want to do on your own. I don't suggest comparing just because it just makes us feel shitty.
Yeah.
It just makes us feel like, damn, like they have this done and like You just you wanna be able to see that person as a role model. Like
Right.
I want to be like her, but in my own way, you know.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I don't see myself much as comparing wise. Like I don't like to compare myself to anybody. I like to be unique and different. But that's just me, you know.
Right.
Like I recommend it for other women to do the same thing, just because there's always going to be someone better than you. There's always going to be someone that's not better than you, you
Right.
know, and you're going to have somebody that looks up to you, or you're yourself going to have somebody that you look up to, you know. But I'm not a big person of comparing myself to other people. And we have a lot of girls that do that.
Right.
They do compare themselves to other females, and if that's okay with them, then that's okay with them, you know. But I don't suggest it.
Right. And, you know, there's this a big saying, I don't know if you heard it, comparison is the thief of joy, you know. And then another one that I like to add to that is clapping for others doesn't undermine your own success. You know, so that's a really big one that I live by. You know, when you complete and do something, even if somebody doesn't cheer you on or whatever, it doesn't mean you got to do the same for people. Like,
Yeah,
you don't have to cheer them on.
everybody moves on their own pace, you
Right.
know. Like it took me a while to get my car how it is, you know. Obviously with the help of people, you know. But just be yourself, you know. Like don't compare yourself. Like don't see it as a competition. Don't compare it. Just learn from it. Learn as much as you can from other female in the car industry. Because I do have friends that are SEMA built.
Nice.
And I want to shout out to my girl Lucy out in Dallas. She's also a Team Dazig. She actually moved in Dallas. She had the Venom Charger.
Nice.
And now she has the Fairy wrap and stuff like that. But she's actually a SEMA build. And I've known Lucy since 2017, before she even was like into the car scene or anything, when she was barely starting. And I look up to her, man. Like I do. Like I don't see her as a competition, you know, but she's a dream.
Yeah.
You know, she can be tough, you know. She can be tough. But that's her goal. That's someone's goal. You're gonna go to SEMA.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And I think it's all just part of like determination. And
Yeah.
I think like anything goes. I think anybody could really achieve that kind of thing. But you seeing it in perspective from another female just kind of, you know, I guess you could call it as a little more relatable.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know. What would you say for any young girls that are looking into this kind of thing? Because we keep getting older, new generations come in, and
Yeah.
that happens, you know, at least from your perspective. What would you advise?
Don't do dumb shit. Just be safe, you know, be safe, be aware of the people you hang around with, you know. If you're building your car, make sure you go to the right people, you know, like ask everyone that you can possibly know, you know, get that knowledge in, because you don't want to run into people just scamming them left and right, you know, because there's people that do that, you know. If you're going to build your car, you know, new generation, just enjoy it, you know, like don't be like other people just trying to do dumb shit all the time.
Yeah, and it's sad to see like when like just the younger kids like bringing their phones out when there's somebody doing something stupid.
Yeah.
And then they keep going like they like you see that they're at another location doing the same thing. Like what the hell?
Yeah.
You know?
And honestly, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I feel like some of these people just do it just to attract attention. Like they don't care about their safety. They don't care about other people's safety. They just don't care, you know? And we also have young females that don't care, you know, and it sucks to see it, but as a female, we have to just be careful, man. Just be careful, because you don't know who you're dealing with, and you don't know what you're getting yourself into. I'm not saying car scene is bad or anything in that perspective, but you never know.
Yeah.
You know, you got all these shootings and stuff going on, and you just gotta be prepared.
Yeah,
man.
keep your head on a swivel.
Yeah, you can't just space out of nowhere and just not be, you know, knowledgeable about what can happen.
Right.
You know, because a lot of people are closed-minded. A lot of people are closed-minded. A lot of people lack common sense about it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's crazy because as you get older, you hear people say it, and you just never. It's such a crazy thing, like because when you're young and you hear this kind of thing, it's just And now we're kind of in that position,
Yeah.
with me at least.
And it's a fun thing to do when you as a female. It's a fun thing to do because for me, it's kind of like it's point proven that I can do what you can do, you know. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with it because we still have people. Not sure we have people in the car scene that think that a woman cannot do it, you know, but we can.
Yeah.
You know, you're always gonna have those people who think that way regardless. But if you're a female and you want to be in the car scene, go for it.
Yeah.
Suggest you go for it, you know, but just be careful with doing it.
Yeah, that's I think that's pretty valid. I think I could agree to see that way. Quick fire round just before we end up with some closing statements. This is going to be a couple questions. You just give me whatever comes up to your mind and whether you make a decision on something here. So, number one, dream car.
Dream car. An R34.
Okay, nice.
That's my
valid.
dream car.
That's valid. That's going to be pretty common if we end up bringing up some more of those.
Yeah.
Yes, this is good. Number two, manual, automatic.
Manual.
Okay. Imagine you're like automatic, you get all this backlash. No, that's cool. Manual. JDM, Euro, or American?
JDM.
Cool. No, didn't even think about that. Not even a just a.
No, JDM all the way.
Bags or coils?
Oof. That's a tough one.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I have coils in my car, man. But bags for sure.
Okay. Wrap or paint?
Wrap.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it's a 50-50 for me.
Yeah, I guess it's all down to application.
Yeah, it's that one's a tough one.
It's subjective, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Car show or track days?
Track.
Interesting. Okay, I'm just saying because I'm seeing your car and like you would prefer some kind of track.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll save that. Favorite mod you have, or favorite mod you can do to a car? Favorite mod, not necessarily just yours, but in general.
Favorite mod? I don't think I have one yet.
Okay.
Not yet. Well, at least not on top of my head that I can think of.
Well, let's say, for example, in your car, what's your favorite mod on your car?
My favorite mod on my car right now?
Piensa, Jimmy, piensa.
Damn, that's hard. That's a hard one.
Usually when I look at my car, for example, I stand and I'm like, my clear tail lights are the shit. So for me, it's my clear tail lights.
That's a hard one because I like everything about my car.
Oh, okay.
Shit, I want to say my wrap.
Okay.
My wrap is my favorite mod.
That's valid. Favorite wheels?
Favorite wheels, work wheels.
Any model specific?
No.
No? Just the brand itself work?
Just the brand itself.
Interesting. That's cool.
Yes.
Most overrated car in the scene right now. Not right here, but like a most overrated car in general.
Most overrated car?
Yeah.
Shit.
Whoever owns this car is
most overrated car. Damn. Mustangs.
Ooh. I wish I had a soundboard.
You just never set it up.
Huh?
We have it.
Oh, okay. We just need to set it up eventually for next following episode. Final last question. What's one thing you always have in your car?
What's one thing I always had in my car?
Have in your car.
Have in my car?
Mm-hmm. Pepper spray.
No, I don't even carry that. Damn.
Starbies.
Nah, I'm a Dutch boat girl. Don't do Starbucks. Honestly, I don't even carry anything in my car.
Oh wow, it's a clean car. Nothing. Not even like a lip balm or a 10mm socket or something. I would assume with your background, you would have at least a 10mm socket in there.
Honestly, no. Now that you mentioned that, my mini screwdriver. It's a little mini screwdriver that I have. Just because my car's so low to the ground, that's the only thing that fits under the freaking car.
That's funny. That's funny. That's cool.
Yeah, I carry that everywhere. So
I'm trying to think of like that's actually kind of a hard question too, because like you always have something in there, you just never until you like
really pay attention to it.
Exactly, and then
Yeah.
you always know it's there because it's like in the back of your hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super interesting.
Yeah, but I have to carry that, man. My car's really slow. Nothing fits. A regular screwdriver does not even fit under there.
Yeah,
so
that's
I
how you
need
know.
one of those.
Yeah, that's cool. Now Not even a jack? You don't even carry a jack with you at all times?
Mm-mm.
That's wild.
Mm-mm.
Um,
No.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's basically concludes on what it is that we kind of wanted to ask for more insight on regarding, being a woman in the car scene. Is there anything you would like to add maybe that you would feel could be useful information from your perspective?
Let me think. It's mostly just respect the spots, man. Like, I wish we could go back in time, and just be how it used to be. But unfortunately, that's not the case. We're getting older.
Mm-hmm.
And for those new people that are just coming into town, we got new people moving into El Paso that want to be in the car scene, or just people in general just want to be in the car scene, Like, don't do dumb stuff, Think about your safety. Always be aware of your surroundings. And just respect other people's location, man. Like, we don't own these properties, And just because we don't allow it in the parking lot where we're at doesn't mean go do it next door.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they're going to end up calling the cops, and there goes your car and there goes everybody else,
Ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, and especially if it's a charity event, Like, we get people who just don't respect anything, and when it gets shut down, then we don't collect stuff for charity,
Right.
And just be safe. Have fun and be safe, and build your dream car and chase for it.
You heard it here, guys. You heard it here. Where can we find you? Where can people find you if they are interested in knowing more about you? What's your handle? What's your socials? Where they can we get you?
My Instagram is _pretty.scar. That's pretty much it, where you can find me.
Sweet. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Team Dazig, of course. That's my family. Golden Vapor, thank you for having me. Shout out to Jonathan and Lisa for doing this.
Oh, yeah.
I expect to see more females on the show, on this
Okay.
podcast.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking it into existence. Hell yeah. That's what we'd like to hear.
Just don't be afraid to do it.
Yeah.
I was nervous as hell, and then I'm just like, oh,
it's cool.
shit.
Yeah, it's interesting, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, basically, it concludes for our episode on, what is it, episode 13? Yes, episode 13. We'll be releasing this as soon as possible. Remember, this weekend we will be having Tokyo Nights Night 1, May 31st, Saturday, 7-11 here at Golden Vapor 3. Go ahead and, come join us with some vendors, and we're going to have some cars out here, pretty good environment. We're going to have security looking at the area and stuff so that we can have a safe environment so we can all have fun and have a good time. So come on out and don't miss out. Monday again.